Frenzzyy family, good night everyone. Welcome to another Sports Frenzzyy podcast. I'm your host Levon, and tonight with me I have Kims, Elaine Thompson biggest fan. I
Yes,
could
sir.
probably say Elaine Thompson husband. I think she should change her last name, but I mean that's for another day. And finally, the people in favorite. People have been asking for this man for I can say over a month now. They have missed this guy a whole lot. I'm talking about none other than Shakes himself. Welcome back, boss man.
The
All right.
prodigal son return it.
Yes, and the prodigal son return it.
Yes.
People I miss him, man, because I don't know, so you bring that little controversial
We're here for
vibes.
the big show, Olympics.
Them I don't know, man. And then tonight we'll be talking about the Olympics because there's been a lot of ongoing so far, and there's a lot of things for us to dissect. None more so than this American athlete, this gymnast, Simone Biles. She pulled out of a few events, citing that it was because of mental health issues. Now, some of us agree, while some of us doesn't. And for her lawyer, I'm going to have her lawyer speak about the case first up. So, Kems, your take on this issue with Simone Biles?
All right. So, when I first, I don't know if y'all were really following even before the Olympics. Even before the Olympics, there was some little murmurs, some rumors going around and so. Anyway, they made it to the Olympics now, and um, she, in the qualifying round to go to the finals, obviously they made a bunch of mistakes. Not only her, but the whole team within itself made a bunch of mistakes, and they qualified second, right? And a lot of persons are talking about the only reason why she withdrew due to mental health was due to the fact that she wasn't going to win, right? And I'm saying that argument is rubbish. Reason why that argument is rubbish is if you look at Simone Biles' track record, if you talk about world championships and Olympics, right? Um, she hasn't always won. She have silver medals, she have bronze medal, right? In the last Olympics was her first Olympics, she got a bronze medal there, right? In her world championship, she got silver, she got bronze medal. So it's not like this is an athlete who is only used to gold medals. All right. Let's take it a little bit further now. Simone Biles is 24 years of age. At 24 years of age, then a lot of persons still trying to figure out their life, what direction they want to do with their life, where they want to go, what career they want to pursue. At 24 years of age, this young lady has the world on her shoulders, have the whole United States on her shoulder, have the black community, even from other countries. Because if you look, a lot of Jamaicans love Simone Biles. They'll watch her and they'll cheer for her because obviously she's black and all of that. Let's not even forget the fact that for years, Simone Biles has been sexually assaulted by her trainer. Years upon years, she have been assaulted, and she didn't come out until other persons start coming out. And I don't know if you guys have ever interacted with people who have been sexually harassed, sexually assaulted, but that thing don't go away because you win 6 gold medals. No, sir. That thing lingers. Probably when she reached 30, when she reached 40, when she reached 50, that those things will still bother her. Now let's talk about the gymnastics part of it, right? So now, due to the fact that Simone Biles is so skilled, they grade her harder than any other gymnast, right? So let's do an analogy now. Let's say we're playing basketball, level one, and you are so skilled at basketball. When you score a 3-pointer, they're only giving you 2 points. Everybody else who score get 3 points, but you getting 2 points. When you score a 2-pointer, you getting 1 point. Everybody else getting 2 points, but you getting 1 point because you're so skilled. And within the same breath of that level, on, she still is expected to win every single time. For 24 years,
Disagree.
huh?
Number one, I disagree with that.
Why would you disagree that she's expected to win every single time?
No, in terms of based on how they grade them in terms of in the gymnastics field, they don't judge them based on who you are. They have one set point system
As
across the board. That's how they judge them.
Oh, so this is the thing, Levo, and I don't know if you're following. So probably you need to go ahead and look it up. But I'm telling you, after the last Olympics, they came out and they said that
Mm.
some of the things that Simone Biles do, she will not get graded for it because she is way advanced in comparison to her other competition. That is what I,
Mhm.
right. So that's the analogy I give. So with all of that being said, now, if I see an athlete of this magnitude come on now and say, um, you know, her mental fortitude is not good. She had to step away for her mental health because she does feel like she had too much pressure on her shoulders. She's doing something that she loves, but she's not doing it because she loves it. She's doing it because okay, America wants her to win. Probably she have to impress that person. She have to impress that person. And again, I don't know how much of y'all play sports, but these things can definitely hamper you. If you look, even Michael Phelps came out. Michael Phelps, he retired twice. Michael Phelps, he went through the exact same thing with the whole world on his shoulders. So if a 24-year-old female who has been sexually harassed, sexually assaulted, and still expect to come up and deliver the goods, I just believe that if she says that, hey, I need to step away from my mental health, I believe that we as the people should at least grant her that respect. I believe she has done enough in the sport where we can sit back and say, well, you know what? Let's give her a chance. But before we even give her a chance, we're ready to say, oh well, because she didn't gonna lose, that's why she did this. I believe it's unfair to the 24-year-old. That's my introduction. That's what I have to say.
All right, Shakes. You heard a lot of the garbage that this man just spoke about. Are you ready to debunk all of that or flush it down wherever it should go?
All right, so good night, everyone. Um, as it pertains to Simone Biles, um, I'm just going to go back to the Osaka issue, right? And the fact that I had spoken about Osaka and the fact that she was using depression, and I was in agreement that if she wasn't in the right frame of mind, she was within her right to opt out of the Grand Slam tournament, especially because for me, she was being threatened by the Grand Slams or the Grand Slam bodies. Now, as it pertains to Simone Biles, I find it very, 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 very strange that she's basically the second most successful gymnast of all time, male or female. I believe she needed 3 medals, I believe, at this Olympics to be
Yeah.
the most successful gymnast of all time. So she's already the most successful female. Now, how is it that you are going to come out and tell the world that you are not in the right frame of mind, knowing that okay, you're going to an Olympics, it's delayed by a year, and you're entering 5 competitions? If you know that you're not in the right frame of mind, Kems was just talking about the whole sexual assault background. I'm really not going to get into that, right? Because I know that when it comes on to trauma, trauma stays with somebody for life. However, we're not talking about trauma that she would be enduring while she's performing at the Olympics. Because guess what? If we're going to say that the trauma is affecting her in the first place, she wouldn't be at the Olympics. So that is to debunk his point on the assault, right? It's simple. If you train in America, you get assaulted during that time. Listen, you went to the Olympics back in 2016. You got 4 gold medals. We all know that they tried the case for Mr. Nasser. He's now in jail serving a life sentence. No, there's no way if you are still haunted by those demons, there's no way you get up and come to this Olympics, especially a delayed Olympics and enter 5 events if you know that you're not in the right frame of mind. You are telling me that Biles waited until she entered and performed, and of course she's like all of a sudden, oh, I can't take this. That don't make any, it don't add up. I am pretty sure that if she never got that score that she got, right, in those preliminaries, she wouldn't have come out and said that, oh, I can't do this anymore. Come on. Everybody knows what is required. No less of a person than Simone Biles, because guess what? She has actually been to the Olympics. She has gotten gold medals. Yes, you are right, Kems, when you say it's not gold medals alone she has. So gold, silver, and bronze. So she knows that, listen, even if she's not at her best, she can still get a silver medal or a bronze medal. I just find it very, very strange that she comes out of the blue to just get up and just walk out on the team just like that. And come on, think about it. How selfish can you be that you are in a team event? So Kems wanted to point towards an analogy. It's simple. So what if Usain Bolt, as the fastest man in the world, decided that, oh, I've won all these gold medals already. I don't feel up for this race. You know what? Make somebody else come in. And you make a next man come into the relay. Nobody would be satisfied with that. So why should I be satisfied that, oh, Simone Biles must just get up and walk out on her teammates just like that? Listen, remember, there are persons in that team who are at their first Olympics, right? The first time they're going to the Olympics, and they are at the Olympics because they want to achieve something. And if you can help your teammates to achieve something, even if you are not at your best, you try to put your best foot forward, right? And that is what Simone should have done, not quit on the team. I thought she was very selfish. No problem if she gets up and drops out of all her individual events.
Which did, which
But you
did,
can't walk out. You
which
can't
did,
walk out on a team like that.
which
Sorry, that
did.
is unacceptable.
Okay, so it's unacceptable for you, and that is fine, right? But you are not the one going through the mental depression, right? So you are saying that there are a lot of people who are going to the Olympics for the first time, and that is where we get it wrong, because the team is not the one who is struggling with the mental battles. Simone Biles is the one who is struggling with the mental battles. So if she is the one, if she believes that, hey, if I continue competing, I'm more of a detriment to the team than an aid to the team, let me go ahead and step aside. Because clearly they couldn't, as you said, they couldn't win the gold medal. So it's either silver or bronze or probably no medal at all. So if she in her self-assessment, if she said, well, guess what? I'm probably not the best thing for this team right now, because she still came back and she still supported them. She still kept them on and everything. But she decided that if I'm supposed to perform, I won't be able to perform at my best. And
All right, so Kems, you want me to kill your
hold
point
on,
easily? Number one,
hold on,
number one.
hold
She
on,
was the
hold
she
on,
was one of the
hold on, Levan. Hold on. As I say, she was not able to perform at her best, and she decided that she's going to walk away from the sport. She's going to walk away from this competition, and that is fine. No, you said another point, Shakes, that I really never agree with. You said that Osaka, you were in support of her because she know that she's going through depression, and so when did she find out that she was going through depression?
who that?
Oh, sorry, Osaka.
Yeah, when did she find out that she was going through
Right
depression?
after the first round.
So
She
what?
won she won her first round match, and then she said, "Hey, this is the end of the competition."
Okay, so why it can't be the same thing with Biles?
Listen
Again,
what she hold
again,
on, hold on, Kims. You
hold
pin
on,
you pick you pick
Levon,
you
again,
nitpick. Hold on, man. Don't
hold
do
on,
that.
Levon, again, I'm saying,
No, I'm going to stop you, Kims.
So
I'm going to
so
stop you.
Kems.
You
yeah,
nitpick something out of what Shake said and never listen to the entire story. Shakes alluded to why Osaka did whatever. So Shakes,
Thank
go
you.
ahead and repeat it for him.
yeah,
And the point that you are trying to make about Osaka actually came out and said that, okay, since 2018, since
okay,
I've won the US Open
okay,
in that topsy-turvy ridiculous match, where Serena, we all know what happened in that match,
yes,
right? To the
yes, sir,
point where she was crying
yes, sir,
um during the celebration, and the ceremony. That is the point that she alluded to. So I am going to ask you, Mr. Kims.
Yes, sir.
What is, because guess what? I'm not saying that Simone Biles doesn't have demons, Don't get me wrong.
Yes, sir.
I'm just saying that what she did was very selfish. Now, I'm going to ask you a specific question.
Yes, sir.
What is the demon, or what is the possible demon that Simone is facing right now?
All right. So I'm going to answer that question, but just before I answer that, you said that she's being selfish right now, and I'm saying, Shakes, let's be honest. You see, in life, sometimes we have to be selfish. We have to be selfish for our own good, right? So, and again, I go back to the point, if she just feel like she's not right and she can't do it, she just can't do it. She just decide that she wants to step away. She just have to go ahead and step away. As in your question, as you talk about the demons, what demons do I think is bothering Simone?
Yes, the main. It doesn't have to be demons, Just give me the main one that you believe.
Okay,
that is challenging her at this time.
Well, the thing is, Shakes. What I believe and what is can be two different things. I can only tell you what she said. What she said, and I'm paraphrasing here. What she said is that she just believes that at this current time she's not in the best mental space because she have the whole world on her shoulders, and she just can't. And she just can't do it.
She has the whole what?
Has the whole world on her shoulders. The whole world. She feel like.
So hold on. Let me ask you this.
Yes.
You think out of Simone and Usain Bolt, who had the whole galaxy on their shoulder?
Again.
No. Answer my question, because I have a follow-up question.
No, Shakes, that is apples and oranges, because
no, it's not.
Yes, it is, because Simone can be more mentally weak than Usain Bolt, and that is
okay. Because that's the next question I was gonna ask you.
Yes.
Because you're basically implying that Simone is weak mentally.
And that is fine. And that is
perfect. But why would you say Simone is weak mentally when she is basically the greatest gymnast of all time?
Because at the end of the day, there's sometimes when your cup overflows, and I just believe right now her cup has overflowed.
All right, so Kims, I've heard you all along. So let me just point out a few things. I remember a particular event. I'm trying to remember if it was at the Olympics or the World Champs, that she was under severe pressure to get that gold medal. She slipped up at some point, but guess what? She kept on battling until she won that gold medal. That within itself right there proved that she had mental toughness. Right or wrong? Because remember that she messed up some of her routine there, However, she kept on battling and she went on to claim the gold medal. Because even she herself said that she was surprised at the end because she knew that she messed up some of her routine. However, because she kept on going, she ended with the gold medal. Okay, so I point out that one instance.
Okay.
At the US trials, it was said that she was carrying an injury. At the US trials as well, she also messed up her routine. Now, at this Olympics, she was supposed to do 2 half twists in her routine. She did 1. So automatically she fell right there in the 8 ball.
Yes.
The athlete from Brazil, I'm forgetting her name at this point in time, but that girl basically I wouldn't say perfected, but close to perfection of her routine. So she was way ahead of Simone. Even the commentators were saying that it is hard for Simone to come back. However, Simone, who is arguably the greatest athlete of all time, they're not going to rule out her coming back from that because they know of what she can do. What I'm saying, and I'm basically going to repeat what Shakes already said. In my estimation, it was selfish on her part to pull out at that point in time. Why not just complete the event?
Thank you.
All right, Levon, so let me ask you a question, right? Say she had finished the competition, right? Say she had finished and she made more mistakes, right? And caused the US to come fourth. As I always tell you, hindsight is always 2020. So after everything happened, everybody have the best opinion in the world. But
just like you're doing. You're talking in hindsight as well. So all of us are doing the same thing.
No, the thing is, Levon, I am saying that if she felt like she was a detriment to the team, she should withdraw. If she want to be selfish with her own mental health, allow her to do that. We don't need to be judging and casting judgment right now. If she wants to All right, let me put it this way. I'm gonna share a personal story, right? I'm gonna share a
Okay.
personal story, right? I'm gonna share a personal story. I was in the military, right? I was in the military. I went to Iraq, Afghanistan, Syria, right? I went all those places. Then now I was supposed to go on another deployment, right? I was supposed to go on another deployment, sign up for the deployment, and so we were supposed to go to Afghanistan again. But due to everything that I had sustained on my first deployment, I just decided that I didn't want to go on the second one because I couldn't manage it. It was too much on my shoulders, too much trauma, too much on my head, too much everything, right?
So,
And a lot of,
Kems, I'm asking a question. Was that a build up or it just happened within one instant?
if it was a build up,
Yeah, like things just keep on piling up and then eventually said, okay, yeah. Or
all
it was a case like on that particular day, just said, sure, can't bother.
no, the thing is in a level one. The thing is in I knew the trauma that I had, but due to the fact that in the military is one team, one fight, right? So I'm saying, all right, I'm just going to go. But in myself, I know that I'm not fully fit mentally to go. So up until the time when I'm supposed to go there, I'm like, you know what, man, I can't do this. It can be the same exact thing with Simone. She just can't do it. And Una say, oh, she know that she was going to lose. That's why I read. What
All
I'm
right,
saying,
what the difference now? You want me to share the difference?
all right, go ahead.
Notice when you made the decision, you made it before you actually went. That's the
Because
key thing,
no,
You did
because
it before.
yeah,
You
but
never, hold on, Kims. You never gone with the man, them, And when you're there with the man, them, I say,
different.
can't bother.
I was just showing you how decision making go because at the end of the day, the military different. So if I went over there, I can't come back. I'm stuck. That's all I say. So I would have been stuck over there. But what I'm saying, Uno say, okay, may I give you another point, right? Uno said this I want to say level one. Uno said that okay, Simone made a decision because she made mistake here, so make mistake there. So all right, cool. Probably while she's doing the routine in her head, she's thinking about the mistake what she make the Olympic trials. She's thinking about the mistake what she make this, so and everything is just too much for her to handle.
If so be the case, Kims, and you're not in a mental fit space, pull out from the Olympic trials.
So,
Tell them to select somebody else to go on to the Olympics.
And
so Levon,
I'm
Yeah.
never sure. You see if Simone had pulled out from the Olympic trials, all I want to would have said, boy, she weaky, she can't even go. That's all I want to always do. That's all I want to always operate.
Again, I'm going to use your own statement, killer. You say hindsight is 2020 vision. Same thing you do, you're talking hindsight. You don't know what we guys would have said. You don't know that, so you can't use that as an example.
No, I don't know what would say no, but I can use pattern behavior and how you always react to things like this. I can use that and make a judgment because that's not
Yeah,
always.
but that's where you're wrong because as I pointed out to you, when Naomi Osaka argument came up first, Ryan and Shakes were two of her biggest defenders. On this occasion now, Shakes is here. Shakes is not defending her. So you can't use that and say, oh, I'm just following a pattern because if you're going to
And
follow
Ryan is here, not
right,
going to defend her either.
thank you.
there you have it. And with that being said, Ryan, chime in. I'm going to get Steve. Hold on, Ryan. Steven, go ahead.
Yeah, night everybody. I'm here listening to discussion. I think the decision by Simone is more optics. It's more how it looks because the actual facts of somebody's mental state is very subjective and hard to pin down. So what we have sometimes is a clinical diagnosis, of which the article says that Simone was medically evaluated. I don't know what the assessment revealed. So the mental space of somebody is subjective. But if it is that you have a track record of pushing through difficult times, if this time you decide to pull out in the middle of a big Olympic year, optics alone is going to look bad for you as a person. But
So
hold on, as far as the mental health thing is, as I said, it's subjective. I'm not going to judge her, say that she's weak, but having a track record of pushing through in difficult times, which as human beings we all have to do. There are some times, based on our jobs, I can tell you, in Jamaica in healthcare, we don't have a lot of the stuff we need, our people dead in front of it. We have trauma we have to deal with.
yep. So Steven,
The doctors, the nurses, all you have to deal with that.
So
But
Steven,
what I'm saying, is that if you have a track record, if all the doctors decide to strike because of mental health tomorrow, the place would be in chaos.
All right. Let me
Yeah,
ask
you
you.
understand what I'm saying? So if you have a track record of why not push through and then try to deal with that off the
All
ear.
right.
If all the doctors decide that I've gone through enough trauma, I can't do this, we just get up in the middle of surgery and just let the person bleed out. We can't do this anymore. There are certain times in your life, even if you have to fail and you take the critics,
No.
you have to push through and then you deal with yourself
All right.
afterward. So I
Steven,
think it's more about optics than the
Well said,
actual mental
Stephen.
space
Well
because we
said.
don't know what's going on.
all right, Steven, I'm gonna ask you a question. I'm gonna ask you
Yeah,
a question.
sure.
I'm gonna ask you a question because great point. I love it. Absolutely sensational point. But let me ask you a question now, Stephen. So you just alluded to the fact that this person had mental battles and always pushed through, right? Always
Right,
pushed through, right?
right.
When is it okay now? When is it okay now for the person to one time, just one time, be like, I can't, I just can't push through.
I'm going to tell you the right time. I'm going to tell you the right time, Kems.
Yes.
Before the battle. So you said you're a soldier.
Yeah.
We can't be fighting against the enemy. We
Mm-hmm.
take it cover under fire and say, boy, I don't feel mentally that I'm ready. While
Mm-hmm.
it's supposed to be covering your partner.
Okay.
You
Thank
understand
you.
what I'm saying? Before
Yeah.
the battle gets hot,
Yes.
either pull out or push through and wait until the battle is not hot and you can take care of what's going on in here because it's all subjective.
All right. All right.
Stephen,
Perfect.
Stephen, Kems,
Yes,
and
sir.
Levon, for those who are claiming that I'm being a hypocrite on this issue, you've clearly not listened to what I've said tonight. Just because I'm not in agreement with what Simone Biles did, I've not said that she doesn't have her demons.
Right.
I haven't said she doesn't have demons. I asked Kems what he thought was her main demon because I believe that she has demons, right? That is going to be troubling her. As I said, trauma will never ever go away
Right.
from her.
Yes.
However, I strongly believe that what she did was selfish. I
Okay.
went back to the BBC and I'm looking at her quotes,
Mm-hmm.
right? This is exactly what Simone said.
Mm-hmm.
After the performance I did, I just didn't want to go on. I have to focus on my mental health.
Yes.
I just think mental health is more prevalent in sports right now.
Yep.
We
Yep.
have to protect our minds and our bodies and
Yep.
not just go out and do what the world wants us to do.
Yes.
I don't trust myself as much anymore. Maybe it's getting older. There were a couple of days when everybody tweets you and you feel the weight of the world. We are not just athletes. We are people at the end of the day, and sometimes you just have to step back.
Yep. Yep. And
This statement,
that is
there's
okay.
nothing wrong with this statement. However, if you know that you have the weight of the world on your shoulders, if you know that you are battling demons, don't step out onto that court. Don't step out onto that mat, right? Don't listen. Remember, as I said, you are basically having a lady that is in a team sport. Imagine if the four of us were on a team and Levon, who lost his mom recently, God rest her soul, and we know that he's still battling his demons, right?
And if Levon
We
wants
are
to
we
step
are
up,
a part of a team.
that'll beat him.
It would not be fair for Levon to decide, oh, 1 quarter into the game to just get up and say, oh,
You crazy as
um,
hell, man.
I
You
really
And
can't deal
you're
with this
crazy as hell.
anymore.
shakes,
I
Hold
didn't
I
even
on.
am
see that
I,
talk.
I am I am being come on.
shakes.
We
I
would
don't
know
chime in
we
if
would
you
know beforehand, and Levon would know beforehand
No.
whether or not the
No, no, no,
trauma is
Shakes.
affecting
no,
him before he steps onto that court.
no. All right.
Shakes.
No. Hold on there. Hold
can I
on.
can I get a chance when you guys
Yeah, hold
want me
on there,
to?
Ryan. 1 second. 1 second there, Ryan. So let me ask. So Shakes, you just get another analogy, which I didn't think that one was a smart one, but let's attack it. So you're telling me if all of us right here is a team, right? All five of us here is a team, right? Probably when Levon start, Levon not really think about anything want to do with him mummy. God rest her soul, right? But in the mid-sight, you know, probably something remind him, probably knows, all right, then, may I do this for my mommy? And then him just break down and say, John, you know, me can't do this. At this point, you're going to tell me, say, Levon selfish? If him say, you know what, guys, my head does not good right now. I just want to step away. Are we going to sit here and call Levon selfish for that? Just answer
All
that
right,
question.
you what now, Kims? I'm going to debunk that point. You know why? I myself came on here and said that if I don't feel good, I'm not going to come here. I pointed out
Thank
that
you,
no, I'm
Levon.
not going to come on this show unless
And you
I'm
didn't.
mentally
You took a
prepared to
time
come
off.
here.
And you actually came on the show, Levon, and you stated that as a fact.
I did.
Thank you.
Levon, you not understand what me I say. I'm not saying you personally, like may I give the analogy, like if that's a person that decide to walk away, would we call you selfish?
You just asked him the
would it-
personal question,
Levon, would
and
it
he
be
just
fair?
answered you.
Levon, would it be fair to call you selfish if you decided to do that?
Yeah. Because if I know that I wasn't mentally prepared and then to come on the
But you
show,
never. But the thing is, the mentality never affect you until you start do it. You know. All right.
but Kim, that is where I'm making the distinction. I personally, as again, everybody deal with things different,
Exactly.
right?
Good night, gentlemen. Levon, my African brother, can I say something to Shakes? I couldn't take hearing Shakes.
Hold on, man,
What
get to
Shakes was
talking to
saying,
them.
what Shakes was
Hold
saying
on,
about
man.
Biles, I was preaching this to Shakes. So I don't know why I'm saying the same thing I was saying about Osaka. Why I'm saying the same thing now. Him disagree with me now. Him blatantly. After I tell this man, so I live with somebody who must suffer. I never experience it when I there Jamaica. When I come to America, I see people suffer them thing there. I mean I say real. So I cannot be against mental health. But I understand what would take place, Shakes. This is what it would take place. Some spoiled brats would do now what you say Simone Biles is doing. That's all.
Two different cases because one is
Yeah,
tennis is
can
an
I talk
individual
now?
sport.
Ryan, I'm going to make a chime in
Ryan
next.
supposed to talk now.
All right, good.
Tennis
Because
is
I
an
remember
individual sport, so it's two
with-
different things.
with the Osaka
Ryan, chime in.
incident, with the Osaka incident, Shakes and I defended her, and we defended her on a particular grounds. My grounds was because she stated from the initial stage that she's not going to do interviews because of said reasons. She played one match, then fine her, and then she decides, all right, I'm gonna pull out. She's playing an individual sports, right? She pulled out. She also pulled out of the following Grand Slam for the same reasons.
Okay.
This individual now, I am not saying that she's not having her demons or what have you or whatever it is.
Okay.
She is way down the wicket. She is in a silver medal position. She went for doctors and everything like that, and then she come back, put on her clothes and say she'll leave.
Okay. Which is fine.
That is telling to me in a way. Because I can look at that as somebody trying to what's the word I'm looking for here? Somebody trying to weaponize mental health. You realize you're losing and you're trying to weaponize it. I don't know if that is what she was doing, but the optics of it seems as if she was doing that.
And I was saying the same thing about Osaka.
You did, but Osaka's situation was different.
That to you. That is to you. In your eyes, Osaka is different from Biles, not to me.
Yes, that's what I said. So I pointed out the difference. No, Biles, she has what? 4 events left individual events left to do. Let us see if she will sit out those events.
She pulled out
all 4.
Yes.
Because up to this evening when I was coming home, I heard that she was.
And that is fine because those are individual events.
Okay, no, if she pulls out of those events, as I said she did, then fine, I will accept that. Okay, this is more serious than I initially thought it was, because to pull out of a group event when you're already in a medal position, I can look at that away and say, okay, you're selfish. But if you're going to pull out of individual events now where you are odds on to win gold medal,
Yeah.
then I can look at that and say, okay, then
Levon,
maybe
Yo,
she
just
Jordan.
really.
one sentence. Just one sentence make a use on rubbish what Ryan just said.
What one
When
sentence?
Black Lives Matter is in process, the media is good for Osaka. When she wants to talk about Black Lives Matter, the media is great. When the media when she don't want to say nothing about that,
Yo,
she has mental health.
yo.
So I can interpret how you are
What Black
interpret
Lives
Simone
Matter?
Biles,
What talking about Black
saying
Lives Matter to be
saying that
mental health?
Hold on.
because
Alright, hold on
when
a
she
second.
doing with Black Lives Matter, she don't have no mental health. The media is great for her. Now she must give the people in my interview. The media is bad for her.
No,
Come on,
I
like
think those
come
are
on.
two different. I think
What are
those
you
are two
saying?
different things.
no, Chris, remember that for
Mental health
Naomi.
of team sports now and individual sports inside of it now. Shakes.
No, Chris, remember that when Naomi was trying to display her stuff for Black Lives Matter, she literally wore a shirt or a blouse that had the names of the persons that died on it.
And
It
the
was an
mask.
image. She wasn't talking. She
She
was
wore
not
7 masks
talking.
in the US Open.
Exactly.
7 different masks.
She wore stuff. She wore
Hold on,
stuff.
Devin.
She
You're
didn't
looking at
open
that.
her mouth. She didn't open her mouth to try to defend anything for Black Lives Matter.
She didn't
Right?
need to open her mouth because
Yeah,
the
because
interviewers would
she
ask
wore
her
the
about
stuff.
it. You're not
And
making no sense, Shakes.
that is what
The
introverted people
interviewers
will
would ask
do.
her about it. So she didn't need
Introverted
to
people
come and
will
say it.
always do that. Right?
What
Alright.
you saying?
A simple thing I could use, Levon. So on the BBC, look at the headlines. Tokyo Olympics. Why superhuman Simone Biles could change attitudes to mental health in sports.
You know what's
Why
funny?
is that
You know
the
what's funny?
headline?
Those
Why
same
is that the
people.
headline for a Black American girl?
Those same
Yet
people were
still,
beating
that
Osaka.
was never the headline for Naomi Osaka.
Those same people were beating Osaka. Those
Thank you,
same
boss.
people.
Thank you. The same because
But
I went
because
back.
Osaka is not American.
I went back to the story on BBC for Osaka, and I literally read through the entire thing, and I can't see nobody defending her apart from a couple of the players like Coco Gauff and Serena Williams, right? That get up and say, all right, no problem if she withdraw. And Billie Jean King even said, oh, it's brave of her to focus on whatever she's dealing with. But
Shakes,
why is
what
the
me,
BBC saying that
Shakes,
Simone Biles could
what
change
Ryan, what
attitudes to
me saying
mental
is
health
our
in
opinion,
sports?
you know, it's no fact, you know. But I am saying you cannot be talking two ways. It's not making no sense. Where I am not saying what I am saying is a fact, and what you are saying is a fact, and what Ryan is saying is a fact. I am saying you need to pick one road. You can't be driving in the 2 lane, big man.
But
You're
you know
driving
that
in the
roads
2
up.
lane.
You know that roads have turned off, right?
Chris, I have not said that Simone is not facing mental challenges. I've just stated that what she did for the team event is selfish or was selfish.
But no matter what she do, because she facing mental health, she has an excuse. What you talking about?
Alright, hold on a second. So I'm going to read this comment and I'm going to get Devin views on it. So
Play.
you're still here trying to say that who are we to say she's not going through whatever she's going through? If you have to be selfish not to commit suicide, then fine, be selfish. Alright, so Frano, to tell you this much, whoever commits suicide is being selfish. Anybody at all that commits suicide is a selfish brat.
Levon, talk with some sense, brother. Talk with some sense, brother.
I'm not a
Yeah,
Kim,
talk with
I said what I said, and I'm not
I
going to
won't agree with you there, Sullivan.
Talk
I'm not
with
going to agree with it.
anybody that commits suicide is selfish.
All right.
I'm not going to agree with it, sir. I used to think that way until I learned better.
With some sense, brother. May I tell you?
I'm not going to agree with the other one. That's
Kim,
all.
listen to me now, Zane. You over there, so no, you have your all right. Let me bring up. Say you have your mother and your rest of siblings and all of them around, right?
Mhm.
You go commit suicide. Don't you think that whatever burden you left behind is going to be on them? So aren't you being selfish there? And next, hold on, man. Let me bring up a next scenario. Now you have your kids.
Yes.
All right, Devin. Devin is a perfect example. Devin having youths, I'm saying.
Yeah.
Devin, go ahead. Commit suicide.
Yes.
Leaving them youths
Yes.
right out there without a father figure to grow up. Isn't that being selfish?
Levon.
Not necessarily.
Answer the question. Answer the question, man.
No.
Is it a yes or no?
It's not. No.
Man, don't tell me crap, man.
No.
Go ahead.
My turn?
Yeah.
Yeah, man, go ahead.
Finally. I'm still going to maintain my consistency in saying Shakes is a hypocrite alongside Ryan. You know why?
Because you don't listen.
On the
That's
program,
right.
the soccer issue was being debated. They consistently maintained their point, and I want to give them props for that. But now they are changing. But when I was on the program, I specifically asked them, and they agreed to this question that I'm going to state. I asked them that, okay, do you think we, as an expert or non-expert, have the right at any point to determine or debate about an individual's mental state at any point in their life, whether they are a sporting athlete or not?
No.
And they say no. So listen now, it doesn't matter our motive. It doesn't matter what Buz's motive is, if she's being selfish or not. If she comes out and says that, okay, she's suffering from mental health, and it's because, okay, she's deeming in her own state that, oh, she may not get the gold medal, she's still having a mental breakdown. And listen, no expert or non-expert can determine a person, can refute what a person's mental health is. You cannot refute that. And the professionals will tell you, I work in a school in Jamaica, I work in a school now, the psychologists, all those people come in and say, okay, it may be that a student or an individual out there may be telling a lie. They may be telling a lie, but guess what? You cannot decipher, you cannot debate or refute that they are telling a lie because they're just calling on mental health just because they want to get out of a situation. You can't refute that. No
I disagree.
expert, the greatest expert in this world are us here who are just commentating. It doesn't matter what field you're in. You cannot debate what a person is going through. So
Devin,
if Biles is saying that, you cannot debate that. You
Devin.
cannot say that she's mental.
Devin, can I ask you a simple question?
Ask me a simple question, or even 10 minutes.
All right, on a scale of 1 to 100%. What before Simone Biles entered the arena, can you quantify? Can you possibly quantify?
Bro, that's where you're getting it wrong. You're getting it wrong, Shakes, with all those questions. Those questions are irrelevant. Like, you know, a judge and a lawyer, they will throw out those questions, Kim. They will throw it out. That's irrelevant.
Devin,
And just like what Stephen was saying.
Devin,
before.
second question.
Wait. When you're all talking, nobody interrupted y'all, man. Let me just answer by saying
But Devin, the man asked you a question and you guys bomb-rush the question before you even finish asking.
Devin, second question.
Nobody interrupted what you were saying.
Devin, second question.
Because all they're trying to do is what was said before. She didn't say something prior to the event. She didn't declare any behavioral that was observed by us or any before the event. So she doesn't have the right to come now in the middle of the event and withdraw. You don't know when it's happening to her. You don't know what she's going through.
Oh no. That's
Devin,
you can't refute
question.
what Stephen
Simple
was
question.
saying. I love Stephen's point and analogy what you were saying about on the battlefield, like before with the soldiers and all of that. That was a very good analogy, but not for this moment. That was very good what you're saying. But like for her, at any point, Stephen, she can say, gosh. And I'm going to close by saying this and take your questions. I remember going through all my life. I was a smart kid. Did my bachelor's, everything first, honors, everything. I did a master's in accounting at UWI. And the first course I failed was a very difficult course. I couldn't deal with the failure. I wanted to quit. I was teaching chems at the time at George's. I started my master's in accounting. I was going to quit. I was suffering. I just one failure. It was just that one failure, me failing an exam. And I had to redo the course. I felt like I was going to give up. I was in my early 20s that time. I felt like I was going to give up. And then my friend said to me, guess what? It's just your first failure. Get the whatever and grow up, be a man. But at the point, I was going through stuff. I felt like I was the worst man in the world.
Devon, can I respond to him?
Yeah, but go ahead.
No, what I'm saying, Devin, I hear your points and they're valid points. But you're making the point that we can't really quantify what somebody is going through. Psychologists and psychiatrists will disagree with you. The reason they can prescribe certain therapies and medications is because they have methods. There's something called the DSM-5. Something
quantify, but they're not saying it's.
Hold on.
I understand what you're saying. Very good point. You're saying.
Let the man finish.
Hold on, let me finish.
The man give you time to make a point. Give the man the time, man.
So I'm saying there are methods to quantify, because a lot of the times depressions, bipolar disorder, a lot of that is by trauma, by psychological stimulus, and everything is a chemical reaction in the brain. Everything. So you can use tests to quantify what's going on. What I'm saying is, in 2021, where there's so much what you call it now?
Psycho-evaluations.
Increased resources. Stigma is now a thing of the past. Where you can get help. I'm saying mental health is not something that comes to you in the middle. You might have a moment, but psychiatrists will tell you there has to be a period of time in which you'll experience symptoms. It won't come at a moment. That's not how mental illness works. Probably she had a moment of nervousness. But what I don't want us to do is to mix up a weak moment with a diagnostic, hardcore mental illness. I don't want
said, Steven.
No, but remember, you guys pointed out that she stepped out at the other 4 events. And I said, okay, based on that grounds, then I will accept that it is more serious than I initially thought. Because if it is that she only stepped away from that the team event and participated in their other events, that would be a major red flag. I can agree to that. Exactly. If it is that she had gone into all of those events.
But Ryan, you know that it is actually a possibility that she's not doing those individual events now because people would really look on her funny and be like, oh, so you gave up the team finals and then you're going for all your individual stuff.
Speculation. Y'all don't know that.
It's so nice that Shakes know what people think, you know?
Exactly.
That's why I just listen to Shakes. Try to tell him about Osaka, you know. But look at him now. I'm so proud of you.
You know what I would want to really ask them, Levon? Did Simone Biles, did her stress level go up?
Oh, we're gonna know that.
After she went onto that map.
Hold on. Let me.
Guys,
I'm
There are psycho-evaluations. As Steve was trying to teach you guys, there are psycho-evaluations that can be done. There are psycho-evaluations that have been done on Simone. Remember, it is actually known. It is actually a fact. It is actually a fact that this girl suffered trauma. So she is literally in a psychologist and a psychiatrist room on a monthly or even twice monthly basis.
Right. That's the
so
point.
What are you guys talking about? That's why I'm asking. Is it that this girl's stress level go up since she got to the Olympics and she step onto the mat?
That is
how you going to tell me that it just increased just like that?
First of all,
I want to know when Osaka was being asked Black Lives Matter questions if her stress level went up or down in those levels.
Your point on Osaka is irrelevant. It don't have anything to do with anything.
It has something to do with it. The two of them suffer from the same disease. What do you mean?
You're talking about mental health and you're lumping everything in the same conversation.
So we know two things for a fact. We know two things for a fact, Levon. One case, one person talk about depression. The next case, we know that somebody was sexually assaulted for years upon years. Those are two different things. So those two things, it don't mean that the people going to endure those stresses the same. As I said, that is why the psycho-evaluation, the questionnaires would be filled out, the talk therapy would be there, the possibility of medication would be there. It's as simple as that. Please do not tell me, please don't tell me that this girl's stress level went up the moment she went onto the mat to start that team final. No, it's not possible.
That's not how it works. That's not how it works.
No. That either. Like, you don't know that either. Like, you come here and you try to talk about things and you try, this and I try to talk all diplomatic. You do not.
But hold on. But Kems, hold on. Kems, hold on. Kems, you see, a part of our medical training is to do a course called psychiatry. We know exactly what is done
All right.
We sit down with
You're a
persons.
counter
I'm
that.
not
You're
saying
a
we
And
sit
that's
counter
down
that.
with
I really
Simone
want to
and
see
that's
Biles.
the
medical
premise. And
training.
that
You're a
boss
counter that.
can't say the man they don't know the matter because these
But
two guys
we
We're
sit
not to them,
down,
don't know
we
them at
sit
all.
down
How
with
are you going to tell us something
number,
about what they're
numerous
saying? Because what they're
cases
trying to do
of
here. That's what
persons
they're
that
trying to do here.
experience
You keep going
various
back to your
types of
training and what
trauma.
you've done. We respect that you're doing. Nobody.
What I'm saying in 11, all I'm saying is that Shakes, as qualified as him can be, Shakes cannot tell me nothing about Simone Biles. The only people them who can tell me things about Simone Biles are the psychologists them who evaluate her. So Shakes can tell me everything when I'm learning at school and everything when I'm reading and every course I'm take. That's good to know. But where Simone Biles is concerned, I only want to hear from Simone herself and the psychologists who evaluate her. That's a who me, because those are the only people who can give us an honest assessment. Not no feelings, not know what them think, not what them feel, not what them feel in them heart. The actual facts of what happened to Simone Biles, those are the only persons who can give us accurate information. So Stephen say a lot of great things, but Stephen still can't tell me nothing about Simone Biles because he does not know.
Mr. Oates, this is my last point, and I will not say anything unless you or anybody has asked me a question. This is my last point, but I'll still be on the show. Unless you say something to me or ask anything of me, I will not say anything else. This is my last point. All right. I respect these two doctors and what they're saying, but this is what I see, and things that happen in the US is not much different from what happening in Jamaica. I understand the different levels that you're saying. You quantify your cycle thing. We have doctors in my school that I work at. We have psychologists. But this is one thing I know, and I ask them. A person can commit suicide from mild depression. So all what you're trying to do, both of you, is to do all these cycle things and say all these things that we know about to quantify the levels of stress or the levels of mental depression that they are going through. But I know that people, doctors, so on, so I don't want to call your names, and people who are there, they say that a mild depression, something simple, someone can commit the ultimate, what you'd say now, negative of mental depression, and that's suicide. Something, and what you're saying, Levon, you talk to any experts, Stephen, and I'm going to be a mind reader like Shake. So Stephen and Shake may not agree with what you're saying, but what you're saying is rubbish about selfishness, somebody committing suicide. They're not going to agree with you because all three you're on the same side of the argument now. But deep down, I'm going to read your minds, and they are not agreeing with what you're saying with their selfishness. But they're not saying.
Levon,
I'm done.
Levon, can I get 20 seconds just to reply to him?
Sure.
Well, we're not saying that we know. I said earlier, I probably weren't listening, Devin, that I said that everything that goes on a person's mental space is subjective.
Yes.
But I'm saying, in theory, principles can be used to quantify. So as Kem says, the psychologist and the psychiatrist, you'd love to have a conversation with them to see what their evaluation was like.
That's it.
What I am saying, as somebody who's a known trauma victim, depression or psychological symptoms don't show up in a sporadic moment. He's known to have these things.
Yes.
Steps could have been done.
Well said, sir.
That's happened. That's
Well
all I'm
said.
saying.
Well said, but your first sentence.
But my question to you guys. All right, let me ask you a question. Isn't it a personal psychiatrist or psychologist that is going to do the evaluation on her? So my question to you guys is: Do you think that these guys would actually give their fair assessment of her in public space?
No, they can't. No, if it would let it look her, if it would,
Absolutely
especially if it's going to make her look bad.
So Kems will not know.
Don't you think it will be skewed towards personal bias?
Kems will not know what is the reason.
So Levon, let me answer the question since I'm the doctor on the show. When it comes on to doctor-patient confidentiality, nothing will come out unless Simone comes out and publicly, either she comes out by herself, or she comes out with the psychiatrist, or she comes out with the psychologist. But guess what? She would never ever do that in the first place, right? Because whatever she's facing, she's going to deal with it with those doctors. It's as simple as that.
Okay.
All right. Give me one last start there. Give me one last start there, right? Because, and Levon, me you say a thing, and he's a youth where rate, but I really something I really want you to think about, and I really want you to retract your statement, you see me,
Come on, tomorrow we're gonna call him and talk to him.
because a lot of
Still not gonna change my opinion, so it doesn't make sense.
no, you
It's
see,
a
I used to think like that
opinion
too,
in
but
Jamaica.
then
Most Jamaicans think away there. So
I used to
me
think like
don't
that, and then I
think like that.
realized that it's not the right way to think.
Level, I understand. Say, you're a man, and you have your way or you think, and what I say, sometimes when you're by yourself, just think a little bit more deeply about the thing.
Kim,
Like,
remember, Levan younger than all of we, so I saw it go.
That's
Like-
nothing with
Nothing
age.
to do with age. Don't bring age into it. Don't do that, man. Don't try to pull a stunt about age. Age has nothing to do with this.
no,
Nothing
Level,
to do with it, but
Maturity has some. I mean, when you live and you
Age
experience.
has nothing to do with
It's not true, Ryan. You have older Jamaicans older than Levant saying that. In
No,
your
that's
age,
true.
but
That is
saying
true.
the
That is
same
true.
thing.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah,
Yeah,
all right.
you can. It's most Jamaicans think like that. Me think like that.
That's true. That's true.
Like
I
me
think I
tell
was.
people that.
I think I was matching it up against how I used to think at his age, which is why I
but,
said that.
Yeah, no, you still have older people, older than me and you, older than everyone,
The producer want to
older
chime in
guys
on
who think
that.
that.
The producer want to chime in. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just saying what Chris, right? Said a while ago, right? I did some research, and the majority of persons worldwide think along that line, based on the research or the survey, that they think that persons who commit suicide are actually selfish, right? So there's actually scientific surveys that shows that most persons think along that line.
all right, but
And guess what? It's actually fear. It's actually freedom of the
Logically.
mind to actually decide if you want to think that a person is selfish in committing suicide.
And also,
Whether or not you think it is the right act at the end of the day, right?
Right.
But you have the freedom of choice to pick that, oh, you know what? If my sister go kill herself, if you want to say she's selfish. Because if she leave her 2 kids or 3 kids behind,
and also Shakes,
then it's fair to say that.
Along with that, Shakes, right? The issue of suicide is actually very complex, right? Because guess what? If you're saying that someone is selfish for doing so, and then a person rebuff that, it all comes down to opinions.
Yes.
Because you're not going to get a factual statements regarding suicide or persons who are
exactly. And not only that, Josh.
It can be said that persons who do it are selfish, and it also can be said they are not selfish. So it's always going to come down to opinions. There's no facts about it.
And not only that, Josh. The same way Devin was making a point, and I can simply say this. If I get 2 psychologists to do an evaluation on Simone Biles, at the end of the day, both reports don't have to reflect the same information.
And that's
Right.
correct.
They
Yeah,
don't
that's
have to have the same diagnosis. And they could have gone to the same school. They can be scholars. And it don't mean that one brighter than the other. But guess what? At the end of the day, what is assessed based on what the person is complaining of, what the person answers to, and the questionnaires and the talk therapy that would be done, the assessment does not have to be the same.
Right.
Yes, and I agree, Shakes. And let me give you an example, right? Where I am from in Mandeville, right? There was a young man that was acting up close to us, right? He was acting very weird and threatening his mother, right? And his family decided to bring him to a psychiatrist to do an evaluation, right? Because there was nothing wrong with him before that. And the psychiatrist actually passed him fit enough, 100% fit. There's nothing wrong with him, and he's okay. And within a week, he actually killed his mother, and that story was all over news. And he was past fit before. They actually took him to a psychiatrist, and he was past fit.
All right, but my final say on this topic is that, all right, what if I'm going with something that Chris said. So based on what Chris said, right? What if every athlete decided to start use mental health as a leeway to say, okay, I'm going to pull out because I don't feel healthy enough to compete in a sport? What if every athlete does that? Does that argue as well going forward?
No problem. If I believe, and again, we are nobody to judge anybody's mental health. If an athlete believe for far too long, athletes have had to suffer through this because mental health was not thing that people talk about. Mental health, you just know say as somebody saying in the comments, is either you're tough or you're soft. So once you're soft and so it's just soft. Once you're tough, so now when you move on now and a lot of people start coming out about mental health, they start getting comfortable. So now this person come out, that person come out. So if everybody want to come out and say, well, mental health, whether it is true or false, we still have to acknowledge
But
it.
You know what, Levon?
Levon, you
I
remember
don't
the
want
Danny Rose
to
situation?
trivialize actual mental health with
You remember the Danny
a
Rose
stressful moment.
situation?
Mhm.
That's what I might
What that
end up doing.
Hold on, what you say, Stephen?
We might trivialize actual mental health, people with psychosis, depression, all of that, because you can have a moment when you're stressed out and you're not necessarily suffering from mental health issues, not necessarily. And
Stephen,
everybody coming out,
Stephen,
we
I
can
can
end up
allude to that.
trivializing the actual thing, which is a
I
very
can,
serious issue.
I can allude to that, Stephen, because I personally suffer from stress at times. Ever since my mom passed, I've a lot of stressful times, a lot of depression. But at the end of the
And
day,
guess what, Levon? You said stress, but guess what? If you were actually evaluated by somebody, maybe you could pass as depression because your mom actually passed. But Kems never answered the question just a while ago, right? Because you were asking if people can just get up and use that as an excuse nowadays.
Right.
No, they can't. It's simple. Every single competition in the world has an organizing body. No, it's simple. As an organizing body, all you have to do, if you claim to be suffering, that's why you have sports psychologists, that's why you have the psychiatrists, that's why you have the psychologists.
Right.
It's not the world that is going to get the report. It is the governing body that is going to get the report at the end of the day. So at the end of the day, even if the athlete gets up and say, oh, I'm suffering from depression, guess what? It can be verified with the
Right.
governing body because anything that the athlete does, the governing body can ask for something to substantiate what the person is claiming to have.
Has to be quantified, right?
Yes.
And then so
Has to be quantified.
you're going to tell me that with all the athletes now and everything that the athletes have to go through, you're going to tell me that the athletes can't quantify depression right now. Yet I can tell you more than 70% of the athletes right now can quantify depression, anxiety, all of them things the way you're
No, they can't because they never went to school for that.
All right. Okay.
If I
Depression is not a
hold
subjective
on.
feeling.
So Kems,
That's
if
what
I ask you,
mental.
7 symptoms of depression, tell me some. Give me 7.
You're the doctor. I'm not the doctor. I don't know.
No, but you said the athletes can do it. So how are you any different from the athlete? Because you're a human, and you don't need to be an athlete to suffer depression. So I'm asking
Anybody
you,
can.
as a human being, give me 7 symptoms that you would use in determining that you actually have depression.
I don't know.
There you go.
Levon.
So that is why we have professionals to make the assessments.
Only thing I'm going to say is 2 things. Simone Biles going to go down as the greatest in her thing. I don't know why she chose this. I don't know if she chose this moment. I like what she said, or I don't know what happened. But all I'm going to tell you, it's fun from Osaka. If you listen what she said, if you listen what she said the same thing. Oh, athletes' mental health has been underplayed too far now. They're saying the same thing. It's a script thing. What you want me to think otherwise? You want me to think otherwise when everybody's just saying blue, blue, blue? The script is a script thing. They keep on repeating the same line. Why are you repeating the same line every time you come up
the
with
question
it?
I asked the guys a while ago if you don't know about the Danny Rose situation. Danny Rose said years he hate football and wants to stop playing football. Even when he was in the team of the season in England starting 11, he said he was not enjoying the game. There's too much politics in football. There's too much people in football who want you to fail. He said the background thing, that was when Danny Rose was at his peak at Tottenham.
Yeah, but
and then we see what happened to Danny Rose. Him just fall off on the map.
Ryan, if you listen to Shakes, I'm gonna tell you, say Danny Rose should have stopped playing football a long time and him should have pick it up long time and him shouldn't go through with him career. Him should have just stop as soon as him pick up same have it, him should have just stop. That's how
No, hold on. Why would you assume that that's what I'm saying? It's simple. When somebody has a problem, that is why we have sports psychologists. You go and try to get help.
Well, that's what Simone did, and you're saying that she's selfish.
Boy.
Kim said that you're not following the argument.
You're just not going to get it. It's all right.
I'm not going to get, because you're talking a bunch of empty calories, so I'm really not going to get it, and that is fine.
All right. I'm going to end this by saying that number one, Kim started off by saying that Simone Biles is carrying the world on her shoulder. Don't you think that
she alluded to it?
Hold on, boss. Yeah, she alluded to that. But don't you think that Simone Biles is actually her biggest downfall? Because remember that she has been wearing this suit that stated GOAT. Don't you think that is something egotistical, and knowingly that you have to keep on maintaining things like these? You don't think that she is putting pressure on herself by doing like those?
Well, to be honest with you, Levon, probably that could have been a mind game for she. Like, it could have been something for help fear only confidence.
I doubt that. I doubt that. I think you're making
Shakes, just one question. Did you believe Paul George when he came out and said what he said about his mental state?
About depression in the bubble?
Yeah.
Yes, I actually believe that.
I'm not a sports person.
You know why?
You believe it, but you sung on Pandemic P forever.
We have to move on.
You know why, Chris? Because it's actually scientifically proven that when you are actually in solitary confinement in prison, you actually go mad.
So why did you continue
if you move from something that you are used to for your entire life, and you end up in a bubble where all you are seeing, you're going to a court and then you're going back to your room, you can't do nothing outside of that, it's not impossible for you to become depressed.
Already. I have a next one. Why did you continue to call him Pandemic P, knowing that the guy suffered?
Because he was horrible in the playoffs. It's his performance that I was complaining about.
Yes,
not
but
him personally.
Him tell you why. And you agree, so that's why him fall off and you call him Pandemic P.
Yeah, but he was Pandemic P.
He was, but him tell you why.
The same way we can get up and say, but Asafa did the same thing. Asafa flap every time him go.
No, you're supposed to be you're supposed to understand as a doctor.
Understand?
Yeah, because it affect him.
Listen, Stephen made the best point since night. You know what Stephen said? If a doctor has patients dying around him, should he or she go and sit down in a room and be depressed? And just because people dying really and forget about the other 10 lives that might be in the emergency room?
And oranges.
Apples and oranges. That's the best point Steve has made.
How is it apples versus oranges? Hold on. What is the aim? What is the aim of a doctor? What is the aim of a doctor?
Hold on, man. We're not going to go back to that. We guys have already passed that. We're not going to.
Yeah, what is the aim of a doctor? To save lives. If people dying around, they can actually get stressed and depressed.
Well, if that is apples and orange, what Chris is trying to do with your soccer point is apples and tomato.
More than that.
All right. Money making matter, I'm telling you, Levon. Money making matter. As a marketing manager for this show, because I'm looking out there, keep telling people about it, promoting it. When the big sponsors like Draft, Big Sports Kings, and them come on, we can make them statements about somebody who commits suicide. It's selfish. Sponsorship will be lost.
Listen again. It's a matter of opinion. You can't kill a man for opinion. There's no way you can tell a man what to say.
When a big company write you 2.5 million,
the world is
it is true, Levon. It's true.
That is true. That is 100%.
And I'm speaking it for you. Speaking it for the show.
Same way homophobia is an opinion, and you can't go on that program go speak about it.
All about optics.
We can move on now.
Opinion
Yes,
again.
sir.
Anyways, let's move on. So, that Jamaica track and field fans will get happy as of tomorrow because the track and field events will now kick into gear, and this is where Olympics starts for a lot of you guys. Well, not for me because I've been watching the Olympics for a long while. But tomorrow we'll see Natalia Gold hit the tracks. We'll also see Jail and The 100-meter for women. First up, I've seen the field for Jailile already in the 400-meter hurdles, and his heat consists of. Give me a second, let me break it up. His heat consists of Tuati. That's an athlete from, I believe it's Tunisia. Then you have Hazimia, Jailide, Fernandez, Macavia, Selman, who is the only one in the field that has run faster than him this year and has a better time. Kems, you have seen it already. Do you think that it's Jailide to the semifinals, or you think that he will somehow finish down the pack?
Um, well, as we have said on previous shows, I definitely think he'll make it to the semifinals, but this is where the buck stops for him. As you said, he has the second fastest time in this field. Only the American have a faster time than him, and I think the American will beat him in this race. I think he'll come second in this race. You'd have to pull out something spectacular to make the finals. But just to go to the semifinals, that is his ceiling. That is his ceiling. So the semifinals, I think he'll make it there, and that's where it will stop for him.
All right. Any of you guys disagree, or you think that he can actually make it through to the final?
I think we all agreed on semi-final when we were doing our assessment.
I think not Steven. I think Steven.
Shit. Yeah, man. I remember Steven having to go to the finals and actually medal as an outside shot.
Oh,
Outside chance.
So
Outside.
guess
man.
what? If you
outside chance to make the final alone, much more medal.
if people have been watching the Olympics, right, and really watching, because I know that some people only watch track, not even track and field, just track, right? If people have been watching the Olympics, this Olympics has actually been about people just going out and racing. So if that is in the swimming pool, if that is rowing, if that is equestrian, or all the sports, you name it, right? All the favorites don't necessarily end up getting the gold medals.
Shakes, I can substantiate that in the swimming, there's this athlete from America, I believe her name is Katie Ledecky. She was
Yes.
expected to double. And there's this young 20-year-old from Australia, her name is Titmus, and she beat her with flying colors. And
Yes, Titmus is now a double Olympic champion.
Yeah.
Yes, right? So it's all about actually going out and racing. So all those who are saying that Jahil can't make it to the finals, listen, anything can play. So I have him to make the finals. I don't know about a medal, but all he has to do is go out and run.
Can you get a good semi-draw?
Yes,
I think
just
Kems
go
was
out
the
and
one.
run.
I think Kems was the one who said that a semi-draw would be his best. A good draw would be his best.
The semi-draw is his best bet, but that's about it. But if we're going off talent and speed and so, then there's no chance to make it there.
Well, all right, I understand what Shakes is saying, but that is not happening enough in the Olympics. You're saying to quantify it, and I understand what LeBron is saying. The upsets are not happening significant enough for you to say it may be the case for Jack.
Really?
If you should
So you clearly have not been watching the Olympics.
I am watching the Olympics. The last event that I looked at today was men's rugby. Who won the men's rugby?
Fiji.
Okay. I was watching that today, and New Zealand was supposed to be the winner, but Fiji is still good. So listen, there's not enough upsets to say that's gonna happen with Jalila. There's not enough.
I can't find another situation again.
So you really haven't really been watching the Olympics.
I am watching.
Never mind.
It's not enough to say that will happen.
Yeah. James, I'm hearing you.
What I'll say is Jail Hyde is not that lady from Australia. Jail Hyde is not that. So
are you a swimmer from Tunisia too? Nah.
Go there and run. They can run to the pool. Like there's always a ceiling, and I'm telling you, that is where his ceiling is at. 48-18, that I'm ceiling right there. So now run no faster than that.
I agree.
Japan has more medals than they bargained for. Great Britain has more medals than they bargained for. America don't have as many medals. Australia have
You know
more
they have more
medals
than
than
what they
they
bargained
bargained
for.
for.
You know they have more than what they bargained for.
What did Japan bargain for compared to what they have? Can you
Exactly. How you know that? You know.
No, man.
Hold on.
To validate what Shakes has said, man. Even the commentator said it that this event, Japan never expected to medal
Exactly.
any medal in it.
Japan has a double Olympic female swimmer right now.
Hold on.
They
What the
never bargained
commentator
for that.
LeVon, he said Japan has more than what they bargained for.
How
So
the commentator know that?
collectively. We're not talking about that one event.
Levon, I'm asking a serious question. How much did Japan bargain for versus how much they have? I just want to know. I do not.
Thank you.
No, I can't specify as to how much they bargain for
You
vis-a-vis
can't
what
make
they have.
such a
But what
statement.
I'm saying, listen.
So you are telling me
You guys always talk about being objective and deal with situations 1v1. All right, so look at it now.
Yeah.
Just like you guys are here saying that you don't expect Jai Light to do nothing at all in the event, except probably reach a final at best.
Yes.
What if Jai Light goes ahead and wins the event? Did Jamaica bargain for a medal from Jai Light in that event?
No.
Okay, so it's just a similar situation with Japan. Japan has some athlete that has won medals that they never give them no chance of winning.
no chance whatsoever. There are so many countries. Listen, if persons have
All right,
actually
look here.
turned up their volume
outside
for the
shots to
Olympics,
compare to these things.
Ryan, but it's just the same case with these Japanese
It
athletes
is
and other
so,
countries. They were
Jael
outside
is so
shots as well.
outside to be used as a comparison right now.
Ryan. So you see many of the winners thus far and the silver medalists and the bronze medalists, they were never in the picture. And guess what? I rather listen to them than listen to you guys on the panel because they actually do research. They actually know more. They have actually been following
Hold
the
on. When you
Olympics.
tell them, who are
But
them?
Chicks, your first
athletes
statement is
themselves?
Japan has
The
more
athletes
than what they
themselves? Hold on.
bargained
The
for.
athletes
Hold on.
themselves, I did
No,
not expect.
Ryan, the
Collective
athletes don't talk at the Olympics. We're talking about the commentators who actually
how
know
them know
what they're
that? How them know
saying.
said athlete? How them know said athlete
Come
never
on,
compete
Ryan.
a brand?
Come on, Ryan.
That's why they do
Lemon,
research.
what he said. He
No,
said
the research.
The research is based. The research is based on form alone, you know. The research is not based on what the athlete themselves say.
Yes,
So I am
and based on
Ryan,
form,
so
and
what
based
are
on
we doing,
form,
Ryan?
Ryan, the
Ryan, you're
athletes
contradicting our
were
argument
never
right now.
ever predicted to get even a medal, and
Right,
they
right,
have
right.
been
I
winning.
get that, but you were saying that them never expect to win the medal. How them know say the
they weren't.
Japanese athlete never see
Ryan,
himself
it's
winning
just
the
the
brand?
same
Because they had
situation that you
better
just
people
brought
in
up.
the pool
It's
going
just the same-
going into the
Shakes,
final
Shakes, it's just the
and
same
going
scenario Ryan
into
just
the
brought up, you know, with
Olympics.
Jai Light. It's the same case with Jai Light. You said
It's the
that Jai
same
Light is
thing.
so far off. It's just like with some of these athletes, they're so far off. Nobody don't expect them to
The
come
guy from
forward.
Tunisia,
all right,
the guy
fine.
from
I'll
Tunisia that
give you
won
that.
the 400
I will
meter,
give you
that
that
won
one.
the 400 meter race. The man won from lane, I believe, is either lane 2? Was it lane 2 he won from?
Yep.
Hafnoe won from lane 2. You don't win an Olympic swim title from lane 2.
How many gold medals? How many gold medals have been won so far in the Olympics? Do we know?
Many.
Many,
No.
like how many? How many gold medals win? Like about
Japan about 13. US have about 12.
all right, so let's say 50. Let's use a number 50.
It's actually more than 50.
All right, so let's say 60. We're just using a number first. Say 60.
Yes.
Say 60 because I'm a numbers guy. 60. How many of those have come through upset that they didn't expect to be? How many?
More than half.
More than half.
More than half.
Talking foolish.
Yep.
Stop talking foolish. All right, continue and live on. That's foolish. That's garbage.
No,
I would have stretched it as far as Shakes. I wouldn't say half, but
I'm
I'd have it at least at a quarter.
things coming.
No, it's actually more than that. You know why, Levon?
You don't know. You don't know.
Because even though the country may have won, the person that was actually expected to win from that country has not been the winner.
Okay.
How many of that? You don't know how widespread that is to make such a statement about any particular country. We don't know how widespread that is.
Well, Devin, let's just have it this way. Shakes is a person who's doing research on the Olympics. We don't. So let us just differ Shakes and then we'll just move forward.
What have you watched thus far in the Olympics?
That's what I said. I give it to them, so I'll move on.
For me?
Yes.
What have I
All right,
watched?
so Devin, to the question I asked, there has been 116 gold medals so far.
Right. Okay. And then
More than
116.
that. More than half of that. More than that.
That is because of upset.
Okay.
Not even
What-
one.
I can give you one that happened since evening. The
You
Great
know,
British
116.
no. I just giving you one that happened since we on the show. The Great Britain their rowing team they won the Olympic title since 2000. They didn't get a medal in the race tonight.
So that's it. What does that say? What does that say? That doesn't say anything. We're
It
talking
says a lot,
about
man.
numbers.
And
The
there
numbers
is a
are always
plethora.
different.
There is a plethora
That's
of
not a
that
plethora.
happening.
That's not a plethora means that what? It's like I'm more than half of like the gold medal in. And it's
You know,
not more than
you
half.
realize that I asked
We
him
don't know.
what
We
has
don't
he
know.
watched?
You just-
What you guys watched during
Alright.
this Olympics thus
Alright.
far?
I have a USA feed. My wife like I watch fencing, I watch boxing, I watch everything. Everything I'm watching. Because
Boxing don't reach to the final yet.
I'm
Not
not saying the final. You ask what have I
Yeah, man,
watched?
we're talking
You didn't
about
ask me what I've
medals.
watched with a medal on it. I've watched everything thus far that is there that you think I don't. I watch archery. I watch everything. Everything. Equestrian. I watch all of it. So you're not the only one watching.
Well, I haven't watched anything, so I'll give it to them.
watch swimming, all right?
Give it to them what, man?
Only watch swimming.
But
My
so
Olympics
hold
start-
on.
my
Why
Olympics
would
start
why
tomorrow
would
night.
an international commentator have wrong information?
We're not saying that the information is wrong. You're saying it's so widespread that it upsets.
But it is.
It's not widespread, bro. It's not widespread. What is widespread? If 116 gold medal, we can't quantify at least a half.
Yeah,
I don't even think it's a quarter.
Anyway, personally, I don't think 60 medals are up. 60 gold medals are upset.
Thank you.
I don't think that happened.
All right, so guys, you guys have been going out. So this question is for you. Here's Gunners boss asking, sir, how the athletic governing body banned Caster Semenya yet allow Brittany Griner to play for Team USA basketball?
Oh, come on, guys.
I don't know.
Ryan, I mean, you can answer, or we can let the doctor answer it.
Kems, I think you should answer it.
Yeah. Well, I just know. I know for Castor, it's because of our I think our hormone or some
Testosterone.
yeah, testosterone something, and Brittany now have the same Brittany now over the testosterone level. So that's why Brittany can play and Castor can't play. Castor
So
can.
Gunners boss, there you have your answer. It's just the case like with the two where they from again, Namibia.
Yeah.
Yeah, the two Namibian athletes. Even though I find that situation stupid because you ban them from the 400 yet say they can compete in the 200, in which that makes zero sense to me. But
Because
that's
they
fine.
run too fast with the 400 and they're threatening the Americans.
Don't make any sense to me. But as I was saying,
Mm.
100 meters start off tomorrow as well. Any information coming out of the camp in regards to are the athletes being able to train enough? Any niggles, anything like that going around? Any of you guys hear anything?
Well, apart from the fact that Jamaica arrived over there early, they couldn't use the track until a certain time. But now they have been training. They have been doing they've also been doing working on their 4x1s as well, working on their back necks and so doing some stride outs. Obviously, the reigning double Olympic champion has also been working on her block starts. And trust me, can I tell you,
There we
She's
go.
still doing 300 a day.
no, obviously you can't do it so much time because that takes a lot of energy out of you. But she has been working on her black stars because what is coming out of the MVP camp is that if she gets up with the field, it is going to be a blistering time. That is all I'm going to say.
Well, it is what it is.
Here we go.
I want a 1, 2, 3 any order, no business.
I want a 1, 2, 3 a specific order.
That's
All
how
right,
you.
Dr. Shakes, you weren't on here when we were giving our predictions for these events. So in terms of that 100 meter for women, how you see this one going? Because the man up in the top right hand corner beside the keep on saying that, the spoiled, what kind of crybaby?
Crybaby.
Oh, spoil baby. Spoil baby.
It's a spoil and cry. So you said the spoil and cry baby won't be winning and the reigning undisputed
Double. Olympic
double
champion.
Olympic champion will return her title. You agree with that sentiment, or you have to conk him this time again?
You have to tell Shakes who's crybaby.
He knows.
She has an idea already.
No.
Yes. So
Yeah,
yeah,
right.
simple. Shelly, all the way. Shelly is going to cement her legacy as the greatest female sprinter in the history of man or womankind.
All right, and in terms of the 2 medals that are outstanding,
The 2 medals, Sherika Jackson, silver.
and the bronze,
Bronze. I hope Elaine can medal.
Jakes, I'm sorry that you weren't here when we were actually discussing it, man, because I'm sure that you'd have had a field night on that particular day. But as I keep on telling Kims, I don't care what order they finish in, as long as it's 1, 2, 3 for Jamaica, I don't care. I just want all 3 medals and that's it.
Simple.
But let me ask Shakes something. I didn't know you have another job, Shakes. I thought you were just a doctor. I didn't know you were a stand-up comedian too.
Because of what?
I didn't know you were a stand-up comedian, man. Like, that's a joke about Elaine, man.
Why? But the last time, the
You
last.
hope she can get a.
Hold on. Give me the medals that Elaine has won since 2016.
Yeah.
I'm waiting.
No,
Right, this is what I'm gonna say. Is Elaine's attorney, Elaine's defender is right there, Kims. So I'm just gonna say
No. I never hear Kim's asking or talking about no stand-up comedian.
No,
I heard
I'm gonna
Devin.
Alright.
No. I don't want to hear from Kim's. I don't want to hear from Kim's. I want to hear from you.
Just listen.
I
Listen.
want to hear from you. Let me tell you something. You see,
You
whenever you
couldn't be
come
my
onto
class.
the show,
You couldn't be my class. I throw you out every day. Every day I throw you out.
and that is fine. And that is
So
fine.
what I'm saying is, if you just listen to what I'm saying, his defender will talk before I make this statement. And I'm going to make this statement.
No. I don't want to hear from Kims. You said you didn't know that I was a stand-up comedian.
Yeah, all right. What I'm saying, this is what I'm going to answer you by saying. Just listen.
Yes.
Once it comes on to a defending champion in
Uh-huh.
any sporting event,
Yes.
any sporting event, I never ever rule out a defending champion. So for me, 2016, the last Olympics, Elaine is still defending champion.
Mhm.
2017, 2018, 2019, those races, they still go on. She may not get whatever medal you want her to get or whatever, but she's still the defending champion. And I just have this thing. To say, okay, once a defending champion come to an event, you're not gonna throw off that defending champion that easily, as great as Shillian is.
not
So
only
Devin.
Let me finish. I am having Elaine for that. And I'm going to use an analogy with West Indies cricket and I'll sign off on this. When they used to play that Champions Trophy, West Indies is still one of the worst team in cricket. Once Champions Trophy come up, I don't know if y'all remember when Courtney Brown and this guy named Bradshaw.
Yeah, I remember.
And we win that title. Since that, we always reach a semi-final after that, as worthless as we be. But once we hear Champions Trophy, that's our thing, and we put out our best effort.
Devin, you say you're a teacher, right?
So once Olympics come and it's Elaine time, I am giving her the edge for the gold medal.
No, Devin, you say you're a teacher, right?
Taught at George's, taught at Knox Community College.
And you say you would kick me out of your class just now. My simple question to you was, which medal has Elaine Thompson won since 2016?
So that's what
I'm
saying.
still waiting for the answer.
I could be a lawyer to put that in the court of law. As a judge, I would throw that question out. That's an irrelevant question.
How can it be irrelevant when it is a fact?
That's an irrelevant question. We're talking about Olympics. I'm a defending champion. Talk to me when it comes to
being the judge in this situation. The question by Shakes is sustained. Go ahead.
Devin, listen to me. Let me answer that question, Devin, right? So as you know, I'm talking. Let me tell you, the last time Elaine Thompson was healthy, she is the defending, reigning Olympic champion, the only Jamaican in the history of track and field to have the sprint double. Only. They can talk about Veronica Campbell, they can talk about Shelley, they can talk about Merlin Atty. I don't care who Who you want?
Only female, I mean.
Yeah, only obviously.
Oh, okay, I never said that.
Only female. When it comes on to Elaine Thompson, no hero. Once she is healthy, she has never been beaten when healthy. Never been beaten.
So she has only been healthy in 2016. Okay.
That was when
Kems,
fully healthy.
Kems. Was she healthy in 2015?
Was she healthy in 2015? No. She was in
okay. So you are saying the only year in the history of Elaine Thompson being healthy was 2016.
Obviously, when she stepped onto the scene and started being amongst the elites, obviously you have to take some beating early in your career. But when she stepped on and is healthy, unbeatable. And I'm telling you.
All right. So the question still remains.
Sign off quickly.
The question still remains: what medal has Elaine won since 2016? How many?
3 in 2021. 3 goals 2021.
Boss, we're not there yet. Don't do that. Answer the man question.
Well,
I have to see do it twice for me to say okay, good.
All right. So here what now? Kems, you see that same energy that you just exonerated on Devin. I want you two guys to be here Saturday night after that 100-meter finals of women. On the show.
I bet you some people won't be on the show on Saturday night. I bet you some people will be running away Saturday night. I'm going
and listen, Kems, you see if your girl failed to deliver, ensure that you come here cladded in a brand new black garbage bag.
Yeah. Let me tell you something. I don't, as Devin said, right? Shelly tried to go for the 3-peat in 2016, and Elaine said no, not on my watch. And now Shelly's trying to come again for try and get some history, and Elaine going to say no, not on my watch. Elaine top. I tell you already know Levon. Elaine will run 10.61 in that 100-meter. I already tell you. I'm tell you, I have inside information and just go and think a joke thing.
Kems.
Yes, sir.
Kems.
Yes, sir.
When Shelly got beaten, was she injured?
I don't know, sir. I don't know. I know Elaine was healthy. That's what
Did she have a toe injury?
Elaine was healthy. That's what I know. I'm telling you.
Okay.
Right, Shakes,
you see, one thing that is never good when you're on a sports show is to show bias. And that is obvious bias.
There is nobody who's on a sports show has never shown bias. Look on every sports show in the world.
Nobody.
Always.
And there's
always.
She's a defending champion.
Always.
And defending champion will rise. That's a simple argument.
My bias that.
Just like how Devin is biased towards Simone Biles.
Exactly. Well said, Josh.
Where's a good little punch producer?
You know. Sometimes I think that Kems, he sits down with a mirror in front of himself to try to convince himself.
Make sure you are here Saturday night. I'll be driving, coming. I go on a little road trip, but I will pull over.
What time is the final?
Go to the show.
7:50 a.m.
Yeah.
So it's 7:50 in the morning.
No, man.
What?
Check it.
Jamaican time.
7:50 JTM in the morning. Yeah, so 7:50 a.m.
Saturday morning, 7:50 a.m.
Saturday morning.
That don't make no sense for me coming out on the road.
It makes sense, boss, man.
No, never up on the road. Them down there. That thing can't do that.
All right, Ryan, that sounds like a you problem.
14 hours ahead of Jamaica. 14. It would be 9:50 p.m. in Japan.
All right, that sounds like a you problem.
So the semi-final is 5:15, and the finals is 7:50 a.m.
Yeah.
So 5:15 a.m. and 7:50. Sorry.
Yeah, 7:50 in the morning. So
are you going to the show after the final, sir, or we have to wait until the evening?
What do you think, producer?
If they are available early.
No, I will be at work. That's why I might be the
evening. Probably not evening then.
That's the evening hours.
Yeah. But remember that this was the same situation in Beijing. The finals were 7:50 a.m. Beijing Olympics.
Hey, whoa!
Ensure that you get a customized garbage bag as I'm telling you doing a Kims. Because I know that you said I know that you issued a piece of breaking news this morning that there's a likely possibility once Elaine wins the 100 meter.
He'll be on this show, and I
Okay.
want Mr. Shakes to be here because he's going to have to answer some tough questions. Because you say, "Oh, I hope she can win a bronze." How disrespectful can you be?
Why, Kevin?
How
Just
did
to-
How disrespectful can you be to the
And
race?
just-
Why, Kevin, to be fair enough.
Just stand up.
I know if they're drink.
And just to boost up Ken's point, right? Stephen Frenzzyy as coach has not lost a 100 meter for women since 2000.
Yes, so look for Sharika to win it then.
All right, and on that note, we're going to sign off.
All Francis, so hey.
On that note, we're going to sign off. So thanks to our viewers.
The show will be on tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can't talk about the NBA draft for like 10 minutes tomorrow, man. We'll talk about the draft.
No problem,
Yeah.
man.
Come on, Kaima.
No problem, boss, man. You can be here, and James is going to be here because
No.
a basketball, man.
And 1 second, 11 before you run away, please. Was one last second, right? You have a guy in the comments named Wilbert who is saying that Kems is too emotional. I want to ensure that you are here on Saturday. All the detractors, all the Elaine detractors, I want you all to be here congregated on Saturday because
Fine.
when I tell you that Elaine won't lose that 100 meter, hey, you're going to have something coming.
Kems, you can't line up some people. I will take some bet, man.
Them boy don't want bit.
All right.
Boy don't want bit.
Break up yourself, gentlemen. Be safe.
Thanks to all our viewers, our first-time viewers, regular viewers. You know that without you guys, this show don't happen. So want to issue a big thank you to all of you guys, man. As I said, without you, there's no show. And I want you guys to subscribe to the YouTube channel more because that's where we want to keep majority of our shows. So please up and subscribe to the YouTube page, man. Subscribe, hit the notification bell because you know that we keep on giving you guys good content. So once you want the good content, just keep on going over there so we can make a win-win situation for both of us. So thanks to all of you. Thanks to Stephen who was here earlier on. Thanks to Chris who was here. And also thanks to Shakes who is back from the debacle for a long while.
Sojourn.
Back with a bang. Thanks to Kems, Ryan, and Devin for popping through. It was a pleasure being here
I'll
with
be
you.
here tomorrow as well.
Yes, man.
Yeah,
Guidance,
man.
brother. Guidance, man. Them.
And
Yeah,
big
man,
up to
bless
the producer. Without the producer, this to happen. So until next time, which will be tomorrow, stay safe, guys. Go and watch some Olympics and be safe.
They're going to watch some.